Lesson 1. Setting the context for the process involved in learning. Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States, once said, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn." Identify the skills that you'd like to have. Accept the challenges and take action to resolve them. Learning is an art and must be practiced consistently to be mastered. What subjects are you struggling with now? Why could you possibly be struggling? Take a moment to think about it. Is it the entire subject or a number of topics? What else could it be? How is that affecting you? What would you like to do about it now? Time to say goodbye to the challenge. First, you must learn to someone the little that you understand to gain the confidence to learn the rest. According to a study from the Washington University in St. Louis, you will speed your learning and remember more if you are to learn with someone or others. The mindset to learn to teach others changes the way you engage the material for effective methods to learn. Second, you must become more effective and reduce the time spent in absorbing the information. According to the Louisiana State University Center for Academic Success, for you to learn, you must dedicate 30 to 50 minutes for learning new materials regularly. Anything less than 30 minutes is not enough, but anything more than 50 minutes too is too much information for your brain to take in at a time. Set a 45-minute timer at a time, walk around a bit, and return to study another subject. Third, set SMART goals for learning. What is the subject matter meant to teach you? How can you apply it to your life? Who will benefit from the learning? And how much time are you willing to invest? Fourth, make time to rest your brain, eyes, and body. Sleep is important to declutter the brain. This will help improve your rate of retention and recall. Finally, learn to organize your key learning. Which strategy will you adopt and when? Take a moment to watch the effective learning strategies in the modules. Prepare note cards and review them. According to some researchers at the Princeton University, when students take notes by hand, they listen more actively and are able to identify important concepts. Handwritten notes are not the same as typing notes. Professor Pam Weller, a co-author and Princeton University psychology professor, revealed in 3 studies that students who took notes on laptops performed worse on theoretical questions than students who took notes longhand. They also concluded that taking more notes whilst learning can be beneficial. Laptop note takers have the tendency to transcribe lectures verbatim rather than processing information and reframing it in their own words is detrimental to learning. Lesson 2. The power of mental spacing. Mental spacing is important to help you focus on what is important. It's like cleaning your room. When your room is cleaner, you know where items are and it's easy to locate them. It also saves you a lot of time and you become more efficient. Mental spacing is important to declutter. You can learn faster when you practice distributed learning. Learning is like watering a lawn. You can water a lawn once a week for 90 minutes or 3 times a week for 30 minutes. The excess water could spoil the flowers, though 30 minutes 3 times a week will nurture the brain. When you space out the watering during the week, you will keep the lawn greener over time. This strategy applies to learning and understanding. You will need to review the topics 2 or 3 times a week. When learning is repeated over a long interval, say a few days or 7 days later than in rapid succession, the brain receives a stronger signal that there is a need to retain the information whilst learning. Lesson 3. The process of understanding. Take a study nap. According to the new research published in Psychological Science, study nap is important when it comes to retaining what you learn. When you get some sleep in between study sessions, you can boost your recall up to 6 months later. An experiment held in France buttresses this point. Participants were taught the Swahili translation for 16 French words in 2 sessions. Participants in the Wake group completed the first learning session in the morning and the second session in the evening of the same day, while participants in the Sleep group completed the first session in the evening, slept, and then completed the second session the following morning. Participants who had slept between sessions recalled about 10 of the 16 words on average, while those who hadn't slept recalled only about 7.5 words. We are not asking you to sleep your life away or waste 100 days of the 365 or 366. We are providing you with tools and tips to understand what you are learning. The process will provide you with an inner motivation through a positive sense of self to prioritize and love learning and to be a seeker and applicant of lifelong knowledge. This affects what you learn, how much is learned, and how much effort will be put into the learning process. Lesson 4: How to apply the learning and understanding procedures. Acquisition and application of knowledge are 2 different yet mutually inclusive concepts. Jim Quick, founder of QuickLearning.com, writes that if knowledge is power, then learning is superpower. Scientific studies conclude that we forget up to 80% of all learning within the first 24 hours if an effort is not made to revise and apply what we have studied. Leverage what you already know by making referrals to improve your understanding of the new concepts. Learning must be facilitated through the use of metacognitive strategies, which is your awareness of your thought processes and ability to connect the dots between new and old knowledge. To do so requires a continuous identification, monitoring, and regulation of all your senses. Consider both knowledge about the task, your goals, and your learning abilities. Be strategic about how and when to use a specific procedure to solve the problem at hand. Plan your learning, stay focused, and consistently evaluate and improve your processes. Try different strategies, approaches, patterns of your learning abilities, and learning styles that are a function of your interaction between your heredity patterns and your experiences. You can also enhance learning through socially supported interactions that aids you to learn to understand. If you learn something but don't entirely grasp it, you must discuss with others by talking them through what you know. They in turn will share their perspectives. Following that, you will create new interpretations that will support you better. Compare what you know with more advanced materials. Pay attention only a few topics at a time. Develop a to-be-addressed list in order to practice directing your attention. Let's assume you are studying mathematics and a thought takes over your mental space, creating a distraction and preventing you from learning. Simply have a journal next to you where you can write it down. This way, you know for a fact that you will remember to give attention to the thought. This enables you to free up space to refocus your energy so you can understand. For great learning and understanding, use notes, pictures, or diagrams to help you keep the information actively available in your mind. Commit to intentional active process of learning. To become an active learner, 1. Be selective about the text that you highlight or underline and write the meaning next to it on a sticky note. 2. Use diagrams to create patterns and associate the reading to something tangible. 3. Ask yourself relevant questions regarding the utility of the knowledge before you start. 4. Study with a friend, explain your ideas to your friend, and listen to your friend's ideas. Tell one another what you think is right or wrong about the summaries or applications. Practice what you learn until you feel confident in your ability to teach another. Clap for yourself. You have just completed the course on tools and tips to make understanding easier.